You are anti Semitic and anti Zionist. Okay, Zionism is a political move. I do have the right to be against it or with it. But what make you thought that I am anti Semitic? Because you are against what's happening in Gaza. I am against what's happening in Gaza because I am anti genocide. I am anti ethnic cleansing. I am anti collective punishment. I am against what's happening in Gaza because I am a human being. Anti Semitic. Do you even understand what is meant by anti Semitic? Of course. When you are against Jewish people, when you are against people who speak Hebrew, that's anti Semitic. Okay, Hebrew is a language, Judaism is a religion, Semitic is a race. You can't mix those three, which means if your race is not Semitic and you turn to be Jewish, that does not make you Semitic. If you are not Semitic and then you learn Hebrew, that does not make you Semitic. And Semitic doesn't mean that only people who are Jewish or only people who speaks Hebrew. Do you really want to know where does the term came from? Okay, tell me. Hello everyone. This is a new episode from your YouTube channel Koshery, but this time it's in English so we can help our friend understanding what is Semitic and what is anti-Semitic. Let's go. Joseph Ernest René, a French Orientalist, lived on the 19th century. Around 1850, Joseph wrote multiple articles about how the Semitic race is inferior to Aryan race, and that's because of the monotheism. And in his theory, the monotheism is limiting the Semitic mind by dogmatism. When he was talking about Semitic race, he mentioned Jewish and Muslims. Moving to 1860, another Orientalist, his name was Mortis Steinschneider from Germany, called Ernest René Anti-Semitisch, which is the German word for anti-Semitic. And that was the first use of the anti-Semitic word. Then we move forward to 1873 to meet Friedrich Wilhelm Adolf Marr, a German politician, Nazi, racist, hate Jewish, and instead of establishing a league and call it anti-Jewish, he decided to use the term anti-Semitic. His ideas was one of the founders of the Holocaust that happened against Jewish during World War II. But what is Semitic? Is it actually the Muslim and Jewish as Ernest René thought? To understand that, we need to go back, way back. No, way more back. Right after the Great Flood. Noah had three sons who survived the Great Flood: Sam, Ham, and Japheth. From Japheth came Europe, Turk, part of Asia. From Ham came Africa and Canaans. And Canaans believed to be the first people who lived on the land of Israel. And then from Sam came Akkadians, Jewish, Arab, and Phoenicians. So one of the things that was interesting that I learned that we Egyptians are not Semitic. We came from Mizraim, son of Ham. And when I told that to one of my fellow Egyptians, he seems like feel offended. It's like, no, we are Semitic. And I was like, what is the difference? What is the difference of being Semitic from Sam, or Hamitic, if that's a word, from Ham, or Japhethetic from Japheth, if that's also a word? What I'm trying to say here, that everyone on earth now is not a pure race from Sam or Ham or Japheth. So we cannot actually use the word Semitic on anyone. Let me give you an example. When Joseph went to Egypt and he became the prime minister of Egypt, that was when he was around 30 years old. Joseph died when he was 110. That gives around 70, 80 years of peace. Let's take around 20 years of that. So that gives 50 years of peace between the tribe of Israel and Egyptians. Joseph himself married one time to an Egyptian woman. Her name was Asenath. So Joseph is a Semitic. His wife is from Egypt, who is not Semitic. So their kids is 50-50, right? But if Joseph got married to an Egyptian woman, isn't that open the door that the rest of his brothers and his nephews and their kids getting married to also Egyptians during this peaceful time of around those 50 years? That lead to a generation who's not pure Semitic. Isn't that right? Moses himself married 2 times, and one of his wives is Ethiopian, which is not Semitic. So what I'm trying to say here is the tribe of Israel who left Egypt thousands of years ago, going to the Holy Land, was not pure Semitic. And there is nothing wrong on that. Everyone now on earth is not a pure Semitic or Hamitic or Japhetic, as I said before. The only way to know what's actually race coming back is to do a DNA test, which you can do it everywhere, except in Israel. So now we understand where Semitic came from, where is the word anti-Semitic came from. I don't know why we follow the definition of the anti-Semitic term from a Nazi German politician, racist person. We should not use that word to describe certain group of people. I want to say again, this is not about Jewish people who have all the respect. I am not anti-Jewish. I cannot be anti-Jewish. I'm anti-Zionist. There is no belief, no religion, no race, nothing would justify what's happening in Gaza on the last 90 days and what's happening in Palestine on the last 75 years. Nothing would justify killing more than 10,000 kids. Nothing would justify destroying hospitals, shelters, infrastructure. Nothing would justify using food and water as a weapon to torture more than 2.3 million people while you putting them on a big concentration camp. I'm against what's happening in Gaza, not because I'm anti-Semitic, because that's not a term. It's because I'm a human being. Now, do you understand why I'm against what's happening in Gaza? because you are a human being. I'm glad we agreed on that. But to address your concern about anti Zionism, that's another story to be continued. Salam.